Hello friends, many times I get this question that can I gift my property to my parents who are residents and then they can sell the property and I can avoid this paying 23% TDS. Is it possible? Is it viable? So let's check in this video. So let's start. My name is CA Arun Tiwari and I deal in international taxation and I'm specialized in NRI taxation. And today I'm going to answer one of the question which is lots of people ask. You might be aware that if you are an NRI and you are trying to sell your property in India, you have to face a 23% deduction in as a TDS on complete sale value. So it is on complete sale value, not on profit or not on capital gain. So if you're selling a property 1 crore, you have to pay a TDS almost 23% plus minus 1-2%, and then only the balance part will be paid to you. Of course, you can file return and you can get the refund, but it takes a lot of time, maybe 1.5 years, 2 years. So lots of people definitely want to avoid this, and some people think that what if I gift my property to my resident, my parents, and then they sell the property and transfer money to me. So is it possible? Let's check it out. So first thing, is it possible? Yes, is it possible, but it's complicated. Okay, how I complicated? Let me tell you. First thing, you have to register a gift deed. So that is a gift deed registered. So anyhow, for registration of the gift deed, you have to come down to India. You have to pay some stamp duty. Okay, it can be nominal, and then only your parents can do this transaction. Second important part, once your parents, because see, understanding tax, you can transfer the asset, but you cannot transfer the taxability. If it might be possible, everybody might have transferred their salary to somebody else. Yeah, it's possible, right? If I'm earning 50 lakh, my wife doesn't earn anything. Just for example, I can transfer 25 lakh rupees to my wife and say, okay, I only got 25 lakh rupees. It's not possible. So same way, you can transfer asset. Is it possible? You can do the transaction, but income tax is going to charge you, not your parents. And because you are NRI, you are obliged to follow all the NRI rules. So technically, it's not possible, right? You can transfer property, get the deal done, but your main intention of avoiding the TDS rules is not possible. Second important part, after that, when they are going to transfer the money abroad, okay, you cannot transfer such a big money just saying, oh, out of natural love and affection. They again have to register a gift deed with your parent, have to register a gift deed where they're going to gift all the money to you. The money is going to be in US and you have to explain there also. So understand, it is quite complicated, takes time. Instead of that, the easier solution is to filing TDS return, and more easier if you start this earlier, because it takes some time. It takes 30 to 45 days. So once you decided that you want to sell property in India, the first step you should be that you should approach us and we can do the documentation in advance. So before we get the buyer, we can do all the computation, all documentation in our hand. We can transfer your PAN from current jurisdiction to international jurisdiction, because that is the first step. Without that, the application cannot be filed. All this procedure takes 15 to 20 days, and which we can do before you find a buyer. And then all the process of filing lower TDS, getting the certificate is a breeze. It's quite easy. It doesn't take that much time. Okay, and then in a normal sense, whatever is your actual tax, you have to pay only that tax as a TDS, and even that tax you can claim as a refund if you're going to make reinvestment in buying another property or bonds. Of course, if you don't want to do reinvestment, you can pay whatever actual tax, or if you're selling property in loss, you can sell that property without any TDS. 0% TDS is possible, and then you can take the money. So why to choose a difficult, complicated way when there is an easy way available? Only thing you have to do, you have to you can say decide slightly in advance. So you don't come when you already signed the agreement to sell and they say, boss, now I want to go for lower TDS or 0 TDS certificate, because that time the buyer will not wait for 30-40 days, right? Already he paid 20% amount to you. Now he want the possession of the property as soon as possible. So the best idea, always I say, once you decided that yes, I want to sell this property, you have to get ready with all this lower TDS documentation, transfer of PAN, and the first thing I think you should do, you should approach us. consult us and let's start the procedure before we can find a buyer. So there are two phases of applying for lower TDS. Phase 1 where we can do all documentation and doesn't require any buyer, and phase 2 where we require a buyer because we have to take a TAN number and then we can smoothly go away. So hope the question is answered very well, that it is practically possible, technically not possible to transfer, to give the property to parents and then parents are going to sell the property and transfer money to you. It will create a lot of trouble, legal as well as practical in later phase, and you unnecessarily get stuck in tax litigations. So to avoid, simply apply the lower TDS and get the thing in a straight way. Just do all these things in advance. So that's all. If you have any other query related to NRI selling property or any technical, any taxation, legal or investment related questions, you can put in the comment section. I will try to reply that. If the question is quite common, I will make a video on that. Till the time, thank you. Have a nice day.